So next session is on skill training for Industry 4.0.
So good afternoon to all of you. This session is actually on the skill development of MSMEs. The topic is about 4.0 or 4.0. Actually, we have kind of moved on from a 4.0 to the next levels because the global focus now is actually on slightly on a different platform. So I just would like to touch upon the couple of global initiatives and the initiatives from the Government of India, which is in alignment with this skill development programs. I think when we are talking about skilling the MSMEs, I was just listening to all the previous sessions and the speakers, very interesting conversations and insights. But I somehow personally feel that when we are talking about the next level of focus in the skill development, which I'm actually talking going beyond 4.0, it's 5.0 or a 6.0, the global focus now is actually on STEM. Businesses, MSME businesses have to really get into that DNA of STEM focus and the deep tech focus that is being kind of picking up everywhere. So the next wave and the next era will be on a deep tech focus. STEM and deep tech are very closely connected. The 5.0 or the 6.0 that we are talking about is all about deep tech. All our policy level initiatives from the Government of India are also in alignment with that. So the global focus is actually on STEM and deep tech, and all MSMEs should actually start working towards that. Especially these are in alignment, these have to be in alignment with the G20 goals and the global green initiatives and climate change goals. So each country has to contribute and deep tech and G20 goals and sustainability initiatives are very, very closely connected. The focus here is actually something called is on RIM, which is research, innovation and advanced manufacturing. The deep tech is all about this. So if the advanced manufacturing has to happen, the precedence should be the research and innovation focus. So whether a business is a startup or a micro or a small or a medium or a large enterprise, the DNA has to be based on this. That's why I felt, MSME businesses, do we have to really take a pivot and try to look at it. So we have, very recently, the Government of India has passed National Research Foundation Bill, which is called Anusandhan. The bill is actually about creating strong capabilities, research capabilities in the country, which is closely connected to the deep tech. And then the Government of India has released a draft policy on the National Deep Tech Policy, and which focuses on the research and innovations related to deep tech ventures. So when research and innovation are in place, the next will be your advanced manufacturing. So advanced manufacturing needs a very strong deep tech focus. All those innovations should have a deeper connect with science and technology. So Manthan is another initiative. These are all the initiatives from the Office of Principal Scientific Advisor from Government of India. There's another connected platform initiative which is being launched by Government of India last year to kind of create a marketplace and an ecosystem between the researchers, innovators, and the skill development organizations and the commercialization of technologies and the MSME businesses. So I personally feel this deep tech is already addressed in our national education policy. The new national education policy, which was released in 2020, is a beautiful document, and it has a very strong focus on STEM and deep tech skills and learning initiatives for the students. And lot of skill development has already started from the technical institutions on deep tech. For the working professionals, if any of you go and visit all these IITs and various other technical institutions in the country, they have been launching many courses for those who are actually working in the industry. So the skill development focus of the Government of India is actually to build a nice connect between industry and academia. A lot of discussions, engagements, policies, frameworks that are being developed, and there's a lot of participation that is actually taking place from various industry associations. And this is where, as being a Chamber of Commerce, I personally feel that we should also contribute, we can contribute so much. So though the topic is actually on 4.0 or a 4.0 today, I just want to move on because future forward, 20 years from now, the G20 goals and what we have to really, and a global mandate that each country has to contribute, that will happen only when a businesses, MSMEs, look at deep tech and STEM from within. So some pivot is required at the thinking level itself. With a small note, I just would like to hand over the session to the session moderator and let us see what the panelists have got to say. Thank you.
Hello. So good afternoon to all. So since morning we have a wonderful session, the inaugural address by the members, senior officials, and then the panel discussion with respect to the digital transformation, smart manufacturing, and then the artificial intelligence and machine learning. So I think all the insights and knowledge we have already gathered in the session with respect to MSME and industry partners. In all the sessions, what I have seen that the importance of skilling is highly mentioned in all the sessions, whether it's a capacity building, change management, reskilling, upskilling, continuous learning, and the change in mindset of the skilled workforce. So skill is one of the important part of the entire ecosystem, and this skilling ecosystem will create the entire thing in place with respect to MSMEs and other industry players. So I would like to mention that we have Suresh PR, Head Skill Development from Sansera Engineering, who is actually also leading the Head Skill Development for their firm. Then we have Mr. Das GV, Director Application, who is actually Leanworks Technologies, leading the Industry 4.0 system in his firm. So now it's time to actually stage is set for the entire session, which is already going on since morning. So I think it's already post-lunch, people are drowsy. So I think the stage is set for the competitive or interactive session for the scaling part. And I would like to have this 2 or 3 questions, or maybe that would be a starting point for this discussion. So what the impact would be created by providing skilling to top level management, CXOs, CEOs. Apart from that, we can also see what changes this skilling ecosystem can bring the lower or the bottom workforce, because that is very important. 80% of the workforce are at the bottom level, not aware about the artificial intelligence, machine learning, cyber security, all these things, and mainly into just production part. Also, what would be the qualifications required for this bottom level workforce? Because as of now, for example, in textile sector, they are only at the entry-level workers are there, 8th pass, 10th pass. 80% of women beneficiaries are working in textile sector with low wages, and working conditions are also not good. So I would like to hand over this mic to Mr. Das GV, highlighting his concerns, challenges, outcomes, all these things for this skilling ecosystem.
Thank you and good afternoon. My firm has an Industry 4.0 system which is plug and play and SaaS, actually specifically designed for MSMEs. It works, it's been working for the past 4 years in a lot of companies in India, across the country. MSMEs as well as large enterprises. Industry 4.0 is actually just very simple at its most basic. It's the connection of your machines to your computers. The rest is all, like they say in Hindi, bakwas. Right? That's how we think of it from within the industry. So my focus here would be on what do we, CEOs have to be trained. We never think of CEOs as, being part of a skill development initiative at all. The skills are always thought of as, down the line. But Industry 4.0, like a lot of other disciplines, the CEO has to be trained. What do we train on? Question one. The thing is that, let's say we buy a machine in an MSME or any organization. What are we actually looking at when we buy a machine? Do we really look at the thread sizes or the ball bearing diameters of the various parts or something? Or do you know what kind of finite element analysis has been done on various parts? No. We are looking at what the machine can do for us in terms of, can it deliver the quality and the quantity that we want? Simple. If it can't, that machine's out. If it can, yes. We're not bothered about the internals. In Industry 4, unfortunately, this rule doesn't hold good. We confuse the user with a lot of jargon, right? We confuse the user with internals, like, AI, ML, cyber-physical system, and big data, digital twin. Why does the user need to know? If I am an MSME, I want to know what it can do for me, how much money it can make for me. Ultimately, every industry is about making money. You don't make money, you're not in industry, simple, right? So, first thing about training is, skilling in Industry 4.0 training, whatever you call it, is do not confuse users. I mean, we do that all the time. Every single conference, it's 90% jargon, 10% what can it do for you? What can it do for you in terms of money and the cost and the benefit and so on. So our training needs to focus on the financial cost and benefits and how to implement Industry 4.0 without the internal jargon. Let's completely forget about talking about IoT and AI and ML and all that to the end user. He's simply not interested, he or she, right? Now that's question one. What do we talk about in the training and the skilling? Question two, why is training for CEOs necessary at all? Training, skilling, it's all for low down people, right? The CEO knows everything there is to know. And that's why he or she is running the industry. What if I told you that for a plug and play Industry 4.0 system like us, we're not the only people, there are lots of vendors, you pay approximately rupees 3,000 per month per machine. Your machine may cost about 20 lakhs, 25 lakhs. You want to connect it up to the i4 system, Industry 4 system, you're paying 3,000 rupees a month. And the returns from that would be in the range of 30,000 to 50,000 rupees a month. 10 to 15 times is the returns, right? 70%, and it takes about 3 months to realize the benefits. 70% of the users of my firm's Industry 4.0 system see this benefit. The other 30% see zero benefits, they wasted their money, and they've only fattened our pockets and enable us to have our little parties on weekends or whatever. That's how it is. And what is the difference? What's the difference between these 70 and 30%? The 70% of the CEOs are knowledgeable. They dig deep into what data the Industry 4 system is throwing up. They act upon the data. They know their stuff, basically. The 30% simply think, oh, I just bought the system and then it's my people's responsibility to implement it and get the benefits out of it. I'm the CEO, I don't have to be bothered about it. I'm bothered about the finance. But this is about finance. This is about making money. So this is the difference between a trained CEO and an untrained CEO. And the CEO essentially is responsible for the whole culture change, the data-driven operations. The Industry 4 is all about data. Earlier you were not looking at data, now you're looking at data. And you're looking at this data that is telling you what is wrong with your operations, what are the like in lean, what are the wastes? What are the wastes in your operation that you can cut down? Simple. And look at the data, act upon it. So what do we talk about, and do we talk to the CEO about it? These are the 2 points that I made just now.
Yeah, thank you so much for this wonderful insight. I think I second your thought that this CEO's training would be there, and if CEO is more inclined towards the skilling of their manpower, he should also be learned through all these things. Only then it's all about business actually. Why do we do skilling? Just to get this skilled manpower to enhance the productivity, and then get the benefit of that by doing great business. So over to you, Sureshi.
Yeah, good afternoon. Thank you very much for this opportunity. As Mr. Dasharthi was rightly highlighting, Industry 4.0, it need not be the 100% requirement of any industry. I would like to quote my industry scenario. So my industry is Sansara Engineering Private Limited, where we manufacture automotive engine parts and also aerospace parts. We have about 70% of the population, they are all 10th, 12th past people. So now considering their knowledge level, and one other side we are talking about the high-end technology. So there is so much of gap we could talk about. But the question remains is it really required to connect all these people? So going forward, I would like to say what kind of the strategy we have adopted. So in our skilling development, we have adopted a 3-pronged strategy. One is, as we all know, that basically we have the minimum requirement of the skill level to operate the machines. We have, of course, the CNC machines and CNC SPMs we have, machining centers we have. So where we need the conventional knowledge people to operate. But this is a big challenge to get the people, even the cities like Bangalore, where manufacturing is facing a lot of challenge to get the people. So therefore, what we are doing is, we are taking the 10th or 12th passed students, and we have created our own skill development center inside the organization. So this we have made in line with the NSDC, that is National Skill Development Council. And this since 5-6 years we are running successfully. We have created a syllabus in line with the NSDC, and we have a faculty who are experts in our manufacturing process and the process owners. So they are contributing to this. So thereby we are making sure that there is no any additional the expenditure which is involved in running this center. So in this scenario, what is happening by inducting the 10th or 12th standard passed students, we are giving them a complete detailed engineering knowledge which is required to run these CNC machines. So there we talk about including the behavioral skills we teach them, how to an industry will run, we talk about that. The manufacturing setups, we discuss about that. A lot of case studies. See, this is very important. We are not just the theoretical we are teaching. 3 months intensive course it is. In that nearly 50% of the time, they work at the shop floor and they gain the knowledge. They interact with the supervisors and other level of people. So that is where they get a good insight. And as I said already, the faculty or the process owners, which their rich experience, they contribute because there are a lot of scenarios where they are dealing with. So that knowledge is transformed to these people. So thereby, in very less time, in 3 months' time, we are making these people industry ready and get the best out of them. So this is a successful model which we have adopted. So till date, we have 1,200 plus people we are trained, and it is really supporting to our industry. Coming to the Industry 4.0, yes, since 1 year we are adopting this technology and we are working. And in couple of our units, we are already seeing some good results. So particularly in our manufacturing line, so a lot of stuff which we are talking about since morning, I don't want to use that jargons again. So we are working on those. And fundamentally here I would like to say the loss hours, which are very critical to the manufacturing industry, has come down significantly by using these technologies. Now the question remains is, as we are all discussing, how exactly our people, the bottom line workforce, has been trained in this regard. Yes, so there a lot of de-skilling is done. So thereby what is happening, that depending on the skill level of these people is very much minimized. And see, just to quote one example here, in a manufacturing process, what happens if the machine is stopped for any of the reason, all they need to do is, there is a drop down, they have to choose the appropriate, the reason which is caused for the stop of the machine. So thereby what is happening, so the job of the operator has become very simple, and the respective in charge immediately he will respond to that query, and he will make sure that whatever the challenge which has been there, he will address it. So thereby the time is very much reduced. And further, the maintenance or the software engineer who is supporting on the back end, so their role has become little more now skilled, because they are looking at robotics, they are also looking at the Internet of Things, all these things. So they are supporting the shop floor supervisor and also the operator. So thereby here I would like to say the skill level now it has shifted from the ground level to the next level of the people, and thereby we could able to get a good amount of the benefit to the organization by reducing our losses, and OE has been improved. So this is some of the changes which we have made, and going forward we would like to introduce these systems in entire our organization. So with this thought I would like to hand over to the next speaker. Thank you.
Hello. So I think that's a great initiative by Sureshi and the organization regarding this involvement of CNC machine, the skilled manpower. So what he exactly highlighted is the 10th and 12th pass person is actually doing a job of BTech or diploma or polytechnic pass person. So skill is something which we all are learning since childhood. I think education is something which we are we are taking it, but the skill set is something which we learn a lot even at the initial stage, then the graduation level, and on the job, and when we are running an enterprise as well. So continuous learning is more important. Skilling is a horizontal thing which actually expands all the sectors, segments at all ages, because without continuous learning, without continuous skilling, we cannot justify our career, we cannot do good in our respective fields. For information that Government of India and most of the state governments are running so many skilling schemes. Ministry of Skill Development has been formed in 2015 by Government of India for providing all the skilling under one. So they are covering more than 38 sectors, which includes all the manufacturing sectors, agriculture, beauty and wellness, textiles, retail, everything is there. Sector skill councils have been formed, set up. The common norms have been set up where a single job role has been designed for a particular thing. For example, retail associate, there would be one job role. A sewing machine operator, there would be one job role. Even in 4.2 as well, National Skill Development Corporation has designed so many courses. And the irony is that all the courses, job roles, all the targets in all these schemes are being taken by the large corporates, training institutions, NGO societies. We are not seeing MSME industries are coming up and taking up all these job roles, all the skilling initiatives being taken by the Government of India or many of the state government, for example, Kerala, Odisha, Tamil Nadu, Andhra. They are doing so much skilling initiatives in their respective state as well. So MSME industry should look into it and take it forward if there would be any challenge, how to get involved in all these schemes, because you will also get the benefit, the direct beneficiary will be getting, or the candidate will get the direct benefit transfer, or maybe the industry will get some subsidized amount so that they can get this skilled manpower, skilled workforce, and the skilled workforce definitely can enhance the productivity, and ultimately, or the outcome will be that the industry will benefit, the enterprise will flourish, and everyone will be happy. So having said that, I think chairperson has to conclude the session with his high remarks, and I think just over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you for that wonderful insights. Again, I just would like to conclude with the same thoughts and picking up a cue from the panelist conversations. Skilling is required at a ground level, at an assembly floor level, at a functional level, at a CEO's level. As I was mentioning again, developing those products or the services that, that NPD, focus of an MSME, has to slightly undergo a mind shift change, because future is going to be determined by the STEM innovations and deep tech innovations, whether it's building a product or a service. This is a global call of action, and MSMEs need a lot of skill initiatives on this, whether it is at a promoter's level or at a CEO's level or at a functional heads level or at a maybe shop floor employees level. That STEM focus and deep tech focus is very critical, and that is where we all have to contribute from the chambers to convey this message, because there are policies which are being introduced, and the policies are introduced for a reason. The industry is going to be a loser if that dimension is not going to be taken into consideration. The skill initiatives have to be more focused on all these aspects. With that, maybe Chambers' role is actually to create more and more such knowledge initiatives, bring those conversations with the policymakers, and to convey the right messages to the industry. Industry is going to immensely benefit with this deep tech and STEM focus, because markets, global markets are entering into borderless trade. There are plenty of opportunities, but the global call of action also has a lot of market access restrictions in the form of regulations. So innovations are the need of our global markets are looking at innovations and deep tech solutions, especially all your sustainability initiatives. The focus is so much on research and innovation. So the businesses have to really start looking at that side of it, building sustainable products and sustainable solutions, without which, forget about global access, even a domestic market access will be controlled by regulations. With this small note, I just would like to conclude the session today. Thank you.
Any question and answer to the panelists? And
so my question to Sadanand ji is whether this can be incorporated. Industry 4.0, you start off with the textile ministry, then get into the food ministry and other ministries, which also we are only managing many of the schemes. Is it possible? What should be the steps? What should the chamber do?
So, right, sir. So actually, this 4.0 industry thing is already highlighted by the Ministry of Skill Development. Even Ministry of Textile is very much involved in this, the entire paradigm shift of the process. For example, in textile industry, spinning and weaving is there, and processing we have already started with respect to AI and machine learning to get the exact data, because the manpower is less, all the machines are very costly in that, and this is something which is we are looking at right now. The garmenting part is actually 80% are skilled workforce. In garmenting, machines are not there, there's a hand-eye coordination, people are doing all these jobs, but yes, we are trying to make a new job roles for all industry 4.0, because the existing job roles does not specify the requirement of garmenting sector, spinning, weaving, processing, dyeing, knitting. All these sectors are actually there, but the traditional methods are already getting into it. We are evolving and we are trying to make a job roles. We are already in touch with Ministry of Skill Development and sector skill councils. So we have 3 sector skill councils. Similarly, we have under summer scheme, we have SHM, we have FICCI, we have City, we have Tripur Export Association. So we have 176 industry players directly working with us, with all the leading garment manufacturing exporter, which includes Aditya Birla, Shahi, Trident, Best Corporation, Google Knitwear, SEM Garments. All the leading industry players are directly taking the benefit of this scheme. Apart from that, all the industry associations who are directly associated with textile, Tripur Export Association, SHM, City, which is also a confederation of 12 associations, which include SAIMA, Southern Indian Manufacturer Associations. Even in Tripur cluster, we have 40 industry partners directly working with us. Tripur, Coimbatore, Erode. So what I am trying to say that for them, now we are making a job roles. I think in the next 6 months or 1 year, we have given that task to the sector skill councils as a Grant Thornton, as a project management unit for this entire scheme. We are also facilitating and supporting Ministry of Textile to get all these job roles to be done.
How can Andhra Chamber get on board?
Andhra Chamber of Commerce can be onboarded just for associations, sir. Only this thing, the member list would be required where textile industry would be there, whether it's MSME. So for MSMEs, we have floated the separate RFP earlier where we have already, the turnover criteria is quite less. For member associations, 50 lakh turnover was there only. And I think Andhra Chamber of Commerce would like to participate in that scheme, then they can easily submit the letter to Joint Secretary or Secretary. I will tell the exact process, what exactly I have to do. And definitely they get be onboarded.
So typically about 20 crores is given per association, large association?
Sir, Tripur Export Association, we have given 16,000 target, which comes to approximately 22 CR. And similarly, some other associations have taken less number. For example, City has taken only 5,000, having more than 10,000 members have only taken 5,000 number to start with. Now they are confident that they will continue this training program. Now they are expecting for more numbers. To start with, they can take a small number, but yes, after that, that can be taken up.